Welcome everybody, I'm Killzone, and today I'm doing another one of these redoing the embarrassing moments thing. So basically, right, I used to live in these kinds of apartments, right? I used to live in them, right? And I used to live on the top floor. So obviously, if you live in an apartment and you have a pet, what do you have to do? You have to go walk that bit every single fucking day. You have no choice because you don't have a backyard. So I went, and this day, I'm like, 11 or 12 or whatever when this story happened, right? And keep in mind, though, you see how skinny I am now. I want you to imagine someone that's smaller and probably 5 times skinnier, and I'm not exaggerating. I was a fucking twig. Oh my god. And so basically what happened was that I went downstairs, and my dog was she was a pretty big dog, She wasn't someone to, be fucking around with. She was definitely a force to be reckoned with. And so what ended up happening was that my mom's like, okay, let's go downstairs or whatever, and let's go walk the dog, right? And so we go outside to walk the dog, and as you can tell, down there's a bunch of woods over there, right? So we would tend to walk our dog near that general area, right? Just because, for some reason she loved to go over there, sniff some of the trees, and then she'd just do her business, right? It's just something she'd do. And so we lived over there at the furthest apartment that's closest to the woods, right? So we come down the stairs, we walk her to the woods area, and she starts, doing her thing or whatever, and whatnot. Starts doing her business and whatnot. And then, oh wait, what the hell? And then as she's doing her business, right, she starts sniffing around or whatever, and she starts seeing something. Now, my mom, was warning me. She was like, hey, you need to, grab the leash with both hands. And I was, so stupid. I'm like, psh, I got this. And I'm holding the leash like this, right? I'm holding it like this with one hand. Somehow thinking that that's going to do anything to prevent a dog that weighs around 80 to 100 pounds. That's gonna stop her, but whatever. And so my mom starts talking to me, so I put my hand on my hip or whatever. And at this point, the leash is gripped around, a little weirder and whatnot. So my mom is talking to me and whatever. My dog starts growling. And as I'm talking to my mom, I don't realize that my dog is growling, right? And she was growling at a squirrel. And so what she does is that she goes bark, 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 bark. And that's when I started to realize something was up. And I was like, oh god. The squirrel, instead of going back into the woods, right? Instead of going back into the woods, like a smart squirrel, dumbass squirrel, it was a really dumbass squirrel, it decided, let me run towards the dog, past the people, and run that away, right? So instead of going into the woods, which it was already in, it decided to come this way. And so I'm like, oh shit. And so my dog just goes, it goes like this. Imagine like this. And, I'm just looking at her like, I'm fucked. And so my dog starts giving chase, right? She goes right past me, fast as fuck. And before I have time to, fully grasp what the fuck is going on, before I have time to grasp and, grab the leash better, she pulls me. Keep in mind, I was so stupid that I allowed my hand to get tied up in the leash. So I'm getting dragged, right? And there's some concrete over there, there's some decent concrete. I got dragged on the grass, I got dragged on the concrete, I'm screaming like, ah! Help! Help! And I'm screaming and shit, I'm fucking dying over here. And thank God I was wearing jeans, because I swear to God that would have been a mess. And I'm screaming, ah! Help! Help! And I'm getting dragged, my dog's just giving chase or whatever. And my mom's like, Tonito! She can't even help me because she's laughing too much at my pain. And so the dog starts running, right? And finally the squirrel does something smart out of all of the stupidity that it did, and goes underneath a car in this exact parking lot which I'm in right now. And so my dog is right in front of one of the cars, right? And it's just "Rrr," and it's growling at her, and I'm just there chilling on the grass, chilling over there, and I'm just and I start crying or whatever. Now, my stepdad at the time ended up hearing all my screams, came downstairs, grabbed the dog off of my hand, he finally untied her off my hand, and I had gotten, a bunch of scrapes and cuts from the concrete, a bunch of like rashes and shit from, I guess, the friction or whatever. I don't know what the fuck you'd call it. Rash, rug burn. I wouldn't say rug burn, but it was like some kind of rash, right? And I got a bunch of those. I got scraped up everywhere. I got some stickers in more undesirable places. And needless to say, I was bleeding, but not nearly as bad as if I was probably not wearing jeans. But yeah, that dog, oof. That story really fucked me up. Bro, I was scared to walk that dog for a good minute, and you best believe that was the last time that I ever walked the dog with one hand. But my sister ended up making the same mistake. My sister made a very similar mistake. Very bad. But hers was way worse. I'll give her that. Her incident was way worse, and I feel so bad. So bad for her. What ended up happening was that we were chilling by my house. My current house that I live in right now, right? And I was inside for whatever reason. I think, what was I playing? Yeah, I was playing video games with my friends. And so I was playing video games with my friends, and this is what happened from my sister's story. This is what happened. My sister was chilling, and what happened was that some of the neighbors came outside, and they decided, hey, we're going to do a race. We're all going to run, we're going to race and see who's the fastest, right? And so my sister was chilling out there with my dog Princess at the time, right? She was just chilling out there with her, and she's like, oh, I'm not going to run or whatever, right? Well, my sister at the time was probably around the age of 10 or 11, right? Not, the strongest, just like I'm not the strongest and wasn't the strongest back then for sure, but, you get my point. She's like, okay, I'm gonna just watch, you guys do you, whatever, right? And so, as she is sitting there, right, she's just standing there, watching them run. As they start running, my dog just gets super energetic. It's like, oh my god, all these humans are running, I must have to run too, and she starts running. Keep in mind, they were on concrete. Yeah. So my sister, sadly enough, got her ass dragged and screaming like crazy on concrete. Ooh, it gives me chills just thinking about it. She started screaming like, ah! And eventually, after the adults realized my sister's getting dragged, because they're running, they all slowed down, got the dog, and they had to carry her inside because this girl was all kinds of fucked up. And, dude, I felt all kinds of bad when I heard this story. I was like, oh shit, at least now you know how I feel. I mean, I feel so bad for you. Honest to God, my sister had it way worse, but it was still an embarrassing moment nonetheless. Either way, so with that, guys, when it's one video to close. Don't forget to like this video if you did. Don't share this one video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to Unlockable Source for more vlog type shit like this. And yeah, so the guys, it's one video to close. I'm KillZomZone, and I'm out for now. Peace.